Hello everyone and welcome to Battle of the Beast Transformation Takedown, battle number 22. I'm Adam and today we've got the final battle of round 2 where we have the last two beasts of fight in this round going against each other. I'm going to need to adjust the camera angle later, bear with me. There we go, camera angle adjusted. So introducing these beasts, before I introduce them, we have 3 beasts left to talk about. One of which has skipped round 2 and going straight into the quarterfinals in round 3. And the other 2 are fighting out for a spot. I gave a hint to what the 2 beasts fighting in today's battle is in the last video, and it's obvious what the matchup is just by reading the title of this video. I'll give some more context for why I said what I said at the end of the last video, but let's introduce the beasts first. Representing Series 26, the 4 Masters, yes, the killer of Okawa the River Beast back in round 1, we have Kyron, Lord of Fire, versus his opponent, the killer of Silver the Wild Terror back in round 1, in a very brutal way where it made me leave that battle on a sour note. But I'm completely over it now, and now I'm ready to see how this beast of Series 30, the Shapeshifters, will do. This is one of the dirtiest fighters in this tournament, and will she come out on top? Well, this battle is going to tell. This battle will reveal to us how well she does. But we have Selkara, Monster of the Depths. So Kyron versus Selkara. So the context for the last line I said in the previous video, revenge is a dish best served hot. So the Silver versus Selkara fight that we had in round 1 kind of had me ending that video on a bit of a sour note because of how overkill this kill was. I understand it's a good kill for Selkara and very fits into the vibe that the bandits give, to always be over the top violent with their kills. So I'm not saying that's bad, but there was a bit of a connection which I had with Silver because it's a dog and I have 3 dogs. I was thinking of them when I did that fight. So it's kind of my personal thought process there. But it wasn't just me who thinks Silver's death was a bit overkill. Lucas also thought that. And when Selkara got paired up with Kyron, myself and Lucas agreed that this is probably the best chance we'll ever get at revenge best served hot. Or as Lucas said, Hellfire, Darkfire, now Selkara, you shall burn. Nice reference to Hunchback of Notre Dame there, Lucas, by the way. So myself and Lucas were both excited for this fight, and as expected, I had to put this as the last fight of this round because of the context and the revenge. We're relying on Kyron. Well, he's relying on Kyron here. I can't show bias, but I think I know who's going to win. Of course, with these 2 beasts fighting, we now know that the beast that skipped round 2 by process of elimination is Hyrix the Rock Smasher, the killer of Ursus the Clawed Roar back in round 1. As for this beast being the one that made it through to round 3, I am indifferent. Personally, I would have wanted him to fight in round 2, but I mean, he is my least favourite Series 30, so congratulations on making it to be a quarterfinalist. You killed a bear, and that's it. So that's really all I can say regarding Ursus there. But let's get to the stats for these 2 beasts, and then we can get into this battle. So I'll see you at the stats. Kyron, Lord of Fire. This beast does not really have a stats department, or bio, sorry, so we only have what's given to us by the Beast Quest wiki. So powers and abilities: flight, enhanced speed, weapon mastery, speech, magic, healing, and heat and lava resistance. Equipment is the Sword of Angus, which is the sword made of fire on this cover, and the weaknesses is bifurication, which means that if the fusion is split in half from where the 2 beams meet, they are separated. Zargon turning into dust and Kyron returning to his good form. Selkara, Monster of the Depths. This beast does not really have a bio, so we're going along with the stats which I picked up on from this beast in its book. So we have enhanced strength, enhanced speed in water, and natural weaponry. And that's it. Okay, so with that very quick stats department done of Kyron, Lord of Fire, and Selkara, Monster of the Depths, time to get into this battle. This battlefield is going to have to be the Clock Arena because I need a water environment for Selkara, but I also need some land for Kyron. And I'm afraid the Clock Arena from Hunger Games Catching Fire is the best I got. So with that, Kyron versus Selkara, let's get into this. As the chamber doors open, Selkara comes out through the water exit and breaks the surface of the water, roaring into the arena, showing off all her arms and muscles in that process. As Kyron makes his way down one of the spokes from his chamber straight to the center of the island where the two beings make eye contact. They both don't make any sudden movements, waiting for the other to make a move. And all Kyron does is lift one hoof and stamps it into the ground before the ground starts to shake. Selkara dives under the water to see that the cracks are starting to form at the bottom of the arena, and she sees up top that the water level is going down. Selkara realizes what Kyron's doing. He's trying to get rid of let's change that, because he can't do that. He doesn't have that power. That's like Haxa. She looks down, sees cracks emerging from the bottom of the arena, and lava starting to come out, causing the water just to bubble and continue bubbling. The lava is constant, recurring heat sources here, so it's not going to be extinguished just by water. It's continuous. The cracks are going up along the walls, and more lava is coming out. The water starts to get really hot for Selkara. Selkara, realizing that she's now on a time crunch before the water evaporates, or worse, she boils. She makes her way to the surface and instantly breaks through a spoke just to be greeted by Kyron, who swings his sword directly towards Selkara, creating a fire arc that goes straight for Selkara that she deflects with her arm. Before she makes her way towards Kyron, where she breaks the center island, causing the ground to shake. Kyron unfolds his wings and gets to a safe distance and flies up above the rocks, which are now sinking down. Selkara then gets the idea. Selkara breaks all the spokes of the arena and, using the rocks, jams it into the cracks of the arena, blocking up the lava. Kyron, seeing this, sees that the water stops bubbling as ferociously as it was. Kyron, confused by this, flies back down and puts his hand in the water. Doesn't feel any heat whatsoever. But that was his first mistake. Selkara immediately comes up, grabs onto Kyron's hand, and pulls Kyron into the water. Kyron, in shock from this, falls into the water, where his sword falls in as well, instantly extinguishes, revealing just a regular blade. Selkara then grabs onto Kyron's front hooves as well as his arms and just pulls him down to the bottom of the arena, wrapping her tail around Kyron's horse torso. Kyron's flapping his wings to try and knock Selkara off and trying to break himself free, but he's struggling. Kyron then bows his head forward and, using the horns on his head, just stabs them at Selkara's head, which one impales Selkara in the side of the neck. Selkara roars in pain from this, releases her grip off of Kyron, grabs onto his horn, and pulls him down, and then slams him into the wall of the arena, shattering one of the horns before Kyron's able to break free, try and make his way out of the water before being able to get a gasp of breath before instantly being dragged down by Selkara. This time, with his arm free, Kyron turns round and, using his sword, goes to stab at Selkara with the sword impaling Selkara on one of her shoulder blades. Selkara roars in pain before using another claw to slash at Kyron right across the chest. Kyron, holding in his breath, trying to just wincing at the pain, trying to not release any air that's left in his lungs. using his hooves, just trying to push away at Selkara. But Selkara's too agile, just making his way around Kyron, not even giving Kyron a chance to breathe. Kyron tries to make his way out of the surface, and right when he does, gets a gulp of air before being dragged back down. This goes back and forth, Selkara taking any hits which Kyron lands. Kyron then slashes towards Selkara, right across the chest with his sword. Selkara roars in pain and annoyance, and bites down on Kyron's sword arm for using two of her arms, and pushes Kyron away from her with his arm still in her mouth, breaking the arm instantly. And Kyron sees that his sword just sinks to the bottom of the ocean, or the bottom of the water. Kyron not having time to retrieve it, tries to break the surface of the water again, and once he does, he prepares to be dragged down, but he doesn't. Selkara doesn't drag him down. So, trying to get himself out of the water, he flies up out of the water, showing off all of his wounds that he got from this underwater battle to the spectators. Blood dripping from his chest, his horn still shattered, his arm broken, hanging limp below him. His horse torso is just as beaten up as well. Not knowing what to do, Kyron makes his way safely to a little stand at the top of the arena and just stares down at this water. He lifts up a hoof to slam it down onto the arena, causing the cracks to open back up, swallowing up the rocks which blocks them before, and the water start bubbling again. Kyron then takes a breather, just collapses down to the ground, just trying to regain himself from this watery escapade. Knowing that he's lost his sword, his main source of firepower is gone, and he just needs to watch the water bubble away until Selkara just dies. Selkara, seeing this, doesn't take this lying down. Selkara slams her entire body into the wall of the arena, causing the whole walls to shake, and Kyron loses his balance, falls into the water. Selkara sees that and instantly goes for Kyron, wrapping her tail around Kyron's horse body and dragging him down to her level. Kyron goes to attack it, Selkara with his good hand, but also front hoof, trying to kick Selkara, punch her, push her away. Selkara, still remaining in a firm grip, just stares at Kyron, not attacking at all, but keeping him apprehended under the water. Selkara goes to reach down towards the ground and picks up Kyron's sword. Selkara found Kyron's sword, so that's what she went for, instead of pulling him back down. Kyron stares in horror as Selkara brings up Kyron's sword up to his throat and just gently nicks his neck. Kyron gasps, realizing what she's doing. She cut Kyron's neck, and Kyron instantly starts gasping, realizing that all of his oxygen instantly just left. He's now struggling to breathe. He tries to break free, trying to grab his sword back with his hand, but he puts his hand right round the blade of the sword, and Selkara just jolts the sword upwards, slicing right through Kyron's fingers. Selkara then uses the sword and slashes holes into Kyron's wings, and then Selkara lets Kyron go, for Kyron to struggle to break the surface of the water, gasp for air, and Kyron's able to see that the water around him is now starting to turn red from his blood. Selkara comes up behind Kyron, bursting up through the surface with his sword still in her hand. As Kyron turns round, Selkara menacingly makes her way up to Kyron, with the sinister smirk still plastered on her face. Before she lifts up the sword, slashes it right at Kyron's already broken arm, but slicing it right clean off and slicing the side of Kyron's human torso. Kyron roars in pain over this, before Selkara grabs Kyron's head, shoves it under the water. Kyron struggling to breathe, trying to get out, trying to break free from this, but it's not working. Selkara uses the sword, stabs at the horse torso, and slices through all the legs as well. as Kyron's limbs are all now broken, going limp. Kyron's now struggling to breathe, trying to wriggle his body free, but Selkara continues to push his head down below the water. Selkara wraps her tail around Kyron's neck and pulls Kyron further down the water, while Selkara just stares, just going down before Kyron, just staring into his eyes as the life is fading away. Selkara remembers doing this in the last round, just seeing the life drain away from another beast, and realizing that she's doing the same thing. She realizes she needs to do something different. What she does then, seeing the chest wound on Kyron's human torso, she lifts up all of her claws, digs it right into the chest wound, and starts pulling in 4 different directions: sideways, upwards, and downwards. Kyron roaring in pain over this as his entire torso is ripped open right before him. Instantly, Kyron's life disappears like that, and Selkara laughs whilst being bathed in the blood of Kyron before making her way back to her chamber, satisfied with her victory. So with that, Selkara's won, Kyron has lost. If you think Kyron should have won, please comment below. I think that how my words final, and Selkara's moving on to the next round. So, yeah, revenge is not a dish best served hot, apparently. So, yeah. Okay. Kyron's round 1 battle, water versus fire. Fire won. But 9 times out of 10, water will beat fire. So that's why Selkara got the victory. Other aspects is that Selkara actually has great strength and durability, unlike Okawa. So that's the advantage Selkara has. But also, Selkara is also, well, yeah, I said the strength. It's also the multitude of limbs as well as her speed, which is also on Kyron's side. Kyron can be a little bit arrogant at times, which I established in previous tournament videos, which is most of the time his downfall, and that was his downfall. He got too close to the water, and instead of getting burnt, he got wet. And yeah, that was pretty much the downfall, and where, yeah, there's nothing Kyron can really do to attack Selkara. He can get some hits on him, but Selkara, with the enhanced durability and enhanced strength, she just needs to drown Kyron. And whilst Kyron does have the healing properties, it's not going to help him. So with that, Selkara's moving on to round 3. We now have our 8 beasts through to round 3, and that's all for this time. If you like what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment down, subscribe. Join me in the next round where we'll be having the top 8 fight against each other for one of the 4 spots in the semi-finals. Until then, peace out.